Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel for a new military video. We are really close to the Top Gun Maverick movie release and I thought this would be the best moment for a video dedicated to the aircraft present in both the first and the second movies. In the first movie, Tom Cruise or Maverick was the pilot of an F-14 Tomcat, at that time the backbone of the US Navy, while in this new movie we find the F-18 Hornet as the main aircraft adopted, that is the current Navy backbone. In this video we will analyze the difference between those two machines and what was improved. Moreover, if you are curious, in the right up corner or video caption you can find a similar video with again the F-18 Hornet, but this time compared with another machine, the F-35, the new aircraft that is being integrated and will slowly replace the F-18 Super Hornet. But now I think it's enough for the introduction and we can finally start the actual comparison between the Tomcat and the Hornet. I think the best way to compare the two machines is starting with the F-14 Tomcat and compare what we find with the Hornet. So let's start with the Tomcat. It has a crew of two sitting tandem with a cost of $38 million. The production started in 1969 with more of 700 of them built and it was introduced in 1974 and retired in 2006. Its latest upgrade was the F-14D Super Tomcat, introduced in 1991. What about the F-18 Hornet? It has a crew of 1 or 2 depending on the model, so we can find also a single pilot F-18, with a cost of $70 million. Here, as you may notice, it is a bit more expensive. It's being produced from 1995, with more of 600 of them built until now, and it was introduced in 2001. The latest upgrade, the Advanced Super Hornet, was introduced in 2014. What about the dimensions? Let's start again with the F-14 first. It has a length of 19.1 meters, an height of 4.9 meters, and a wingspan that goes from 11.6 meters up to 19.5 meters. Why this difference? Because the F-14 has swept wings. Is an interesting peculiarity. This aircraft can change the wing's angle to achieve better performance when it goes above the speed of sound. The wing area of course changes as well, it goes from 52.5 square meters to 94 square meters. For the Super Hornet we can find a length of 18.3 meters, an height of 4.8 meters, a wingspan of 13.6 meters that can be only 9.4 meters when folded. It can fold the wings on the deck to occupy less space, while the wing area is 47 square meters. What we can learn from this first category? The first difference we can immediately notice is about the cost. The Super Hornet is more expensive. But also keep in mind that we also live in a different time with different costs. So yes, it's more expensive, but not as much as you may think. The other main difference that we have to notice is about the overall dimensions. Not so much about the length and height that are quite similar, but about the wingspan. In fact, the minimum wingspan of the F-14 Tomcat was 11.6 meters, while the wingspan with the wing folded of the F-18 Super Hornet is 9.4 meters. And you may think, what's the point? Remember that these machines work on an aircraft carrier, that is a ship in the middle of the ocean, with a limited space. So this little difference is way more important than you may think. You can have more aircraft on the deck using the same space. Not only that, but also the deck operations are easier and faster this way. In the next category we will analyze the performance of the two machines. Let's start with the F-14. It has a wing loading that goes from 470 kg per square meter to 230 kg per square meter, a range of 930 km in combat and 3000 km in ferry. The ferry range is the maximum range possible when the aircraft has no payload or only external fuel tanks. The service sailing is 16,000 meters and the rate of climb 230 meters per second. For the power plant we can find 2 turbofans with a total power of 250 kN. It can reach a maximum speed of 2490 km per hour or Mach 2.4 and a cruise speed of 930 km per hour or Mach 0.7. The thrust-weight ratio is 1.02 and the G limit is plus 7.5. What about the Super Hornet? The wing loading is 620 kg per square meter. For the range we can find 722 km in combat and 2400 km in ferry. The service ceiling is 15,500 meters with a rate of climb of 228 meters per second. For the power plant, also this time we have two turbofans with a total power of 196 kN in total. It can reach a maximum speed of 1900 km per hour or Mach 1.5 and a cruise speed of 1250 km per hour or Mach 1.0. The thrust weight ratio is 0.93 and the G limit is plus 7.6. What we can see from this second category can be weird for probably most of you. In fact, it's quite obvious how the F-14 performance are higher compared to the F-18. So why the F-18 replaced the Tomcat? Well, probably these performance are yes important, but probably not what really matter for this kind of machine. So when we will analyze the next categories, simply keep in mind that the F-18 performance were higher. It had a better range, better service ceiling, rate of climb, maximum speed, cruise speed. It was overall better here. With this third category, we can start answering the previous question. Why the Super Hornet replaced the Tomcat? Let's start analyzing the avionics. For the Tomcat we can find the radar, navigation system, IRST, radar warning receiver, laser warning receiver, targeting pods and chaff flare dispensers. For the Super Hornet we can find a very new AESA radar, active electronic scanned array radar, jammer system, electronic countermeasures, electronic warfare system, radar and laser warning receivers, targeting pods, and chaff flare dispensers. Of course, during the years we had many improvements in technology, and also the avionics of the Super Hornet improved as well. So one of the main reasons to choose the Super Hornet to the Tomcat are the improved technologies. The Tomcat design was really old and could not match the new standard needed, especially in terms of radar cross-section and electronic warfare. Not only the Tomcat was more visible to the radars, but was also more vulnerable to electronic warfares. But of course was not the only reason. Let's keep going analyzing the machines. The F-14 empty weight was 19,840 kg, with a maximum takeoff weight of 33,730 kg, and a payload of 6,600 kg. For the gun we can find a 20mm Vulcan Gatling cannon and 10 hard points for the weapons. While for the Super Hornet we can find an empty weight of 14,550 kg and a maximum takeoff weight of 30,000 kg. The payload is 8,050 kg. For the gun we can find also here the 20mm Vulcan Gatling cannon is the same gun but improved to the A2 version and 11 hard points for the weapons. What we can see here is another main reason to choose the F-18 Super Hornet. We have an empty and maximum takeoff weights lower compared to the F-14. Why these are important? Because again, these machines work on aircraft carriers. Having a smaller and a lighter aircraft means you can transport more cargo, more fuel, more weapons, more food for the crew. It's not something to undervalue. But probably the biggest difference here is the payload. Not only it's lighter, but it can also transport more payload, more weapons. What kind of weapons? Let's check. In this category we can see the last main reason to choose the F-18 Super Hornet to the Tomcat. They both have many weapons, but you can immediately notice how many more weapons we have for the Super Hornet. In fact, while the Tomcat was a really good aircraft, it was limited in terms of what kind of mission it could afford, while the Super Hornet has not this kind of limitation. Both can use air-to-air missiles, for example, but for the F-18 Super Hornet we can find also air-to-surface missiles, anti-ship missiles and anti-radiation missiles. Both can use guided bombs. Of course, for the Super Hornet we have improved bombs compared to the Tomcat simply because it was older. Both can use dumb bombs that are simply not guided. Don't be sorry for them only because of the name. You can also call them unguided bombs if you prefer. Even if you can find more of them for the F-14 Tomcat because nowadays are less and less adopted, we usually use more the guided bombs. Both are able to use cluster bombs, more kind of them for the Super Hornet compared to the Tomcat. And finally we have rockets for the Tomcat that usually is not adopted anymore on aircraft nowadays. And that's it, we have seen all the main difference between those two machines. What do you think about it? Do you prefer the Super Hornet or the Super Tomcat? If I have to choose only about the look of them, the F-14 Tomcat is still my favorite Navy aircraft ever made. But I have to admit that the Super Hornet has an higher versatility, and yes, if I have to choose, I would still choose the Super Hornet. But again, the Tomcat will always be in my heart. And what about you? Let me know in the comments what you think. And also for today, the video is finished. I remind you that in the right up corner or caption of the video you can find more videos like this one. So if you liked this video, first leave a thumbs up, is always appreciated and very important, and then go also check the others in the playlist. Moreover, if you like these machines and the Lego, I also make reproductions in scale of them that you can find again in the right up corner or caption of the video. And also for today that's all. See you again next time in a new video. Bye!